Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. I think you'll want to stick around for this one. This is going to be a disassembly and a quick bearing swap on the Kizer Varatas. One of, I think, my favorite Kizers this year. There's another Kizer that's taken its place. No No fun intended there, but this was and has been a great knife. So I thought I'd do is I would disassemble it, take it apart, and see if the same size bearings that fit in other Kaisers fit in this one. But we'll use our little bearing guide. I think this is a combination of T6 body screws, and they're double-sided, so I might need another bit. I might have to use my thumb bit. T6 bodies and a T8 pivot. I don't know if that clip's going to need to come out. Let's see. I have a feeling the clip may not need to come out. So let's do this. Switch to our T8. I know that pivot's captive. All right, guys, so far that was easy. There's some kind of gasket in there. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Maybe my clip does need to come off. Let's just take it off to be safe. Back to T6. Knocking over my KPL, which is the lubricant that I'm using today. I'm also using my Get Good screw driver, which has just been an absolute banger. I got the driver and I got the little base that holds my bits. So I've leveled up my assembly game or disassembly game or struggle bus game, however we want to. Why is this screw not coming out? All right. Keep that all together because that is definitely a longer screw. Our scale comes off. Our blade comes off. And we've got our bearing track. So we can see what size bearings we're working with. So first thing I'm going to do is clean this disgusting blade up real quickly with a cleaning patch and a little squirt of alcohol. And then what we will do is we will wipe that down. We will check the size of our bearing. While we're squirting our pad, I want to take a second and shout out and say thank you to all the channel members, and thank you to all of y'all who take the time to watch my content. It means everything to me, and I appreciate it so much. If you're so inclined and you've got the time to hit that little bell notification, that subscribe button down there, it would really help me out. There's a good bit of smuts in there. All right, so that's our Veratas blade with a nice little detent track starting to be worn in there. What I'm curious is I want to flip these washers. So my trick to do that is to get one of my lights. It's got a magnet, boom, and pull them out, clean them up, and then flip them so that they can get a fresh track. Take our pivot out, get our other bearing, clean all that smuts out. Our little thing, boom. Whoops. All right, guys. So now that we've got it kind of cleaned up, let's see what size. I'll go through there. 3/64. See how they go through there? The pivot is smaller. So it's a 5mm pivot. So we've got a 5mm 3/64 based on our little chart there. And that's what I've got from my other Kizers. So let me show you something cool. Just give you a little quick skiff tutorial. I've shown you guys before, they're solid on both sides, right? So you've got a solid phosphorus bronze washer with your ceramic balls embedded in it. But also, if you look, this Kizer bearing has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 balls. I don't know if you can see that. If I can get the camera to even focus on that. 8 balls, and it's got the track on that side. Our skiffs have 15 balls. Whoops. And there is no track. So it's a solid phosphorus washer. That's how it starts out. All right, let's get back to what we were doing. We've got this uniquely shaped pivot. So it is a square. Make sure I don't have anything funky going on with the pivot itself, which I don't. Not that I can tell. All right, let's get our KPL heavy. Start off with a little detent love. Just a little drop on the detent ball. This heavy, what it does is it holds in place. It's more heavy, so it's not as runny. And that's way too much. But anyway, I'm not one to follow directions as well as I should. I'm going to put just a drop on that pivot, a drop on that washer. And then I'm going to condition this washer in my fingers, lubricate it that way. Tiniest bit there. All right, now we're going to take the tiniest drop there. Boop. Boom. Then we're going to condition our other skiff and our finger. Just a drop because we still got an oily finger. Wipe off my fingers with alcohol. And now we're going to attempt switch out my stop pin. And then let's see if we can get it back together. All right, did you hear that lovely snap? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is hit it with the body screw, because I've got my T6 already in there. probably not the smartest way to put it together, but I'm not torquing them down. It's just trying to make efficiency of the bit that I've got in my hand. Or in the bit driver, in the get good screw. Which, guys, the knurling on this get good screw, and I'll probably do a review on it, just because, I mean, I look at it as such a tool that comes in so handy, and it really makes a difference. I have my Weehaw stubby that I used to use when I would get to a stubborn bit. I've not had to reach for it. I love my Weehaw stubby. I know nobody needs a Thai Mascus bit driver, but we all play with knives. If you like me and you do a lot of maintenance on your knife, get a little tight. All right, we got some kind of issue going on here. Something's got us totally off center. And it has us just out of whack altogether. So we need to look. Maybe that these bearings are just a little bit off and we have to go back, but I'm going to give it a try before we bail on it. Things fitted in there good. All right, let's see what we got going on in here. Put it on this side. Looks Gucci. That looks Gucci. That snapped down. And I'm not going to put all these screws in, because if it's still way off center, we know we've got an issue with our bearing. Yeah, it's totally off center. So unless I've got my pivot in wrong, let's see. Could have something to do with the way I've got my pivot in there, but I wouldn't think so. A little more flush. That's just bizarro to me. Yeah, it's not going to be centered, guys. So what I'm going to see is if indeed it is an issue with the thickness of our skiffs, which these were tight going through at 1/16. or 3/64, but I know they wouldn't be a 1/16. Yeah, they're just a little bit slightly thinner. Same diameter. All right, let's try something different. I bet you this fixes it. Because again, they won't work in everything. I also think these are the size that go in the quiet carry 9. So maybe we will try to do a little quiet carry 9 maintenance one day. So this will just be we'll call it a Kizer Varatas Disassembly. I like to put the stop pin on the side that I've got down. For obvious reasons, because it's easier to get it in. And we'll take a little drop of lube. Boom, boom. We'll drop on our finger. I was really hoping those skiffs were going to work, because there's this little weird kind of catch. It's not an issue. It just feels I've got a lot more room there with that pivot. I have a feeling that was my issue. I think you're going to see a lot more pivot come through when I clamp it together. All right. Let's see. I'm just holding my pinky on the back side of that screw to make sure it's not turning. Usually they don't, but sometimes they do. That's why I have that finger bit there handy. Let's see what that does. Still not all the way centered up. Pretty centered. Yeah, it had to be the size of those bearings. So that is a disassembly and attempted skiff modification to the Kizer Veratas. Great knife. Doesn't have a reversible. Well, maybe it does have a reversible clip. I don't think it does. Let's see. Put our clip back through. So guys, that is the disassembly of the Kizer Veratas. I appreciate y'all sitting through that. I wish it was more productive. Wish we'd gotten some skiffs in it. But you live, you learn, you try. Good news is we've got somewhere we can use these skiffs. There'll always be a knife that they'll fit in. That's why I like to have a good selection of them. But guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Love you all. Please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for that guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love y'all. Peace.